Warm hands are happy hands. Welcome back, everybody. Clint here today. Excited to be talking about ambidextrous lower receivers on the AR platform. I've got an entire lineup here of different rifles. We're going to be checking out rifles, pistols, collaborations of everything to see which one is the best. Now, to be completely transparent, no, I do not have every single ambidextrous lower receiver currently available on the market on this table. But who and what I do have is Santan Tactical, LWRCI, Noveski, Radian. We've got Blackout Defense, American Defense Manufacturing, ADM, SIG, LMT, Daniel Defense, and Aero Precision with their M4E1 Pro. And for the sake of consistency, I'm going to be running the Daniel Defense DDM4A1 R3 upper receiver on all of these lowers, except for one anomaly, which is this guy, the SIG Spear LT in 300 Blackout, Rattler LT, because this one is a bufferless, buffer tubeless piston-driven system. So I have to run it as you see right here. So without further ado, how am I going to be testing them? Simple drills, guys. Simple drills while wearing gloves. Cold weather gloves as well, because I need to be able to interact with the controls. They need to be intuitive. It needs to be ergonomic, especially even in cooler weather, because if it isn't, then it sucks. And that's all there is to it. So let's go ahead and hop into it here. Again, I'm going to be doing one shot, reload, one shot, a couple of other drills, just getting a feel for the different platforms, all with that upper receiver and the wide variety of different lower receivers that we have here. If there is a manufacturer that you would like to see compared to any of the guns laid out on this table that maybe isn't here today, comment them down below. Maybe I can go ahead and acquire those. These are either personally acquired or loaners. Now, the other segment to that before we start shooting is different individuals that you would like to come onto the channel to try this lineup of different firearms to see if what they like, because I'm just one guy. Let me know. Or if you're just local in the area. If you're just a dude in the area and you'd like to try out some of these guns, DM me, hit me up, magdump_Morgan. Let's do some range time together and let's get your personal opinion out there for the world. All right, I think that'd be kind of fun. Anyway, we got mags loaded. We got the shot timer ready. Let's start with the DDR3. So when I run my Flow 556K Huxworks can on like my Signature Series Mark 18, all the time, this thing's getting carbon locked. We're gonna try something, a little secondary test in today's video. True Blue Suppressor Syrup. We're gonna try it on the M4A1 R3 and then, you know, maybe even on the Signature Series if we have time, the Mark 18. Apparently this stuff is supposed to prevent carbon lockup, things like that. So I'm gonna douse this stuff on in there. I'm just gonna put it on the can, a little dab on the muzzle device itself. And then at the end of all this shooting, we're gonna see if it comes off easy enough or if I have to put it in a vise like I do almost every time I shoot my Mark 18. Yeah, just a little dab on the muzzle device itself. Uh-oh, my suppressor wrap here is getting a little jank. Starting off with the DD-M4A1 R3, here we go. Nothing but ambidextrous controls I will be using. That's to send the bolt home and also take the mag out. One shot, reload, one shot. That's all it is. Really simple, really easy, all right? And that's also including when I take the mag out, I will be inserting a fresh mag and only dropping the bolt with the Ambi bolt. So only releasing with the Ambi release. And this one goes in, empty mag comes out. Starting with the low ready. Okay, had to find the Ambi mag release on this guy. We're sitting at 2 shots in under 6 seconds at 5.48, pretty slow. So what you'll notice with the Daniel Defense, it's pretty much your typical bolt release, bolt catch on the right side of the gun. Mag release right down here on the left side of the gun. Let's try that one more time, see if we can make that a little bit cleaner. I've already got one in the chamber. Muscle memory, guys, muscle memory. Dropping that mag. I gotta hit the Ambi mag release. We go again because I suck. Four, 4, 3. That felt obviously a little bit better. Felt pretty good there. Let's go ahead and grab the next one. Hey, the suppressor syrup seems to work. I could take it off and, you know, put it on and I mean, already it's kind of tight. It's breaking free though. All right, we'll see how that does after like another couple 100,000 rounds. All right, anyway, hey, if you like them to get up, check out Audi Gear. All right, they have awesome stuff. I just really like them. Eberly stock. Use code MAGDUMP if you're looking for some awesome bags, packs, all sorts of stuff, even hand warmers. These things are great from Eberly stock. Check the description down below for all sorts of discount codes and things like that. So also a big shout out to my friends over at Monadnock Firearms. Without them, this simply wouldn't be possible, and they've been supporting the channel since day number one. And if you're looking to remove silencers and short-barreled rifles from the National Firearms Act, because there should be no registration. Actually, it's unconstitutional, so why is there one? Become a member of Gun Owners of America today. We are actively fighting to dismantle the NFA. And on top of that, hold-up displays. If you're looking to hang up your gun, have it nice and displayed proudly on your wall, check out hold-up displays, all right? And my buddies over at Gun Camp, they are right now trying to educate the masses about firearm ownership, safe and responsible gun ownership, and getting people educated about the Second Amendment. Check them out, and let's get back to this video. Next thing I'm going to be testing as well is actually switching out the upper receiver on each of these, seeing how much pressure it takes to remove, because sometimes you can find tolerances be kind of different across the board on all sorts of guns. And obviously with gloves on too, that's going to be even more difficult. I am able to get that rear pin pushed. That's why I need a fixed blade. There we go. Easy enough. And if all else fails, by the way, I've got my AR takedown tool that I am certain we're going to be needing today. We're going to take my R3 upper and throw it on the LMT. This is the LMT. This is their Mars lower, which is fantastic on their Estonian Defense Force reference rifle, the Rahi. It's a RAHE. Love this system. Now I would expect the upper to be pretty easy to remove from its matched lower, right? When it comes to actually putting a different manufacturer's upper and a different manufacturer's lower, we'll see. All right, not bad. As far as Ambi controls go on the LMT, very similar to that of the Daniel Defense, where it's pretty much your traditional bolt catch, bolt release on the right-hand side. And then mag release, a little bit smaller surface area, but is well protected against accidentally pushing or anything like that. If you compare that to the Daniel, you'll notice that it's pretty flush with the guard on that. So I could definitely see this one being easier to actuate, which is good and bad, because, well, I could accidentally actuate it against a belt or something along those lines. This one, I'm assuming I'm not going to be able to as easily actuate it, but it's also not going to be as easy to accidentally drop your mag. All right, let's do it. Okay, so that was us getting used to the controls on this guy. 5.46, pretty similar to what we got on the first shot with the Mark 8, or not the Mark 18, the M4A1. Having to feel for that Ambi bolt release was my problem there. 4.33. That felt pretty good, about 1/10 of a second faster than with the Daniel Defense. Not that big of a difference if you ask me. It's also just gonna be me getting warmed up and in tune with those controls. As we move on to different platforms or different manufacturers, what you'll notice is different placement of, well, the bolt release and the different style of bolt release. As I get more comfortable with one style over another, that would make sense that I'd get a little bit quicker. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Removing the Daniel R3 upper, 14.5 pin and weld upper receiver from the LMT lower. Putting it on was easy enough. Getting it off was actually easier than the Daniel lower, so that's even funnier. I guess I have more area that I can get my gloves into. Next up, let's go with ADM. Now this gun's a little bit newer than the rest of these. All right, easy enough, great. The lower is not what I need to get rid of. And then throwing this pistol lower on here. Little tight. There it goes. All right, we are one in the chamber, ready to go. ADM lower receiver. This is a little bit different style of bolt releases. You'll notice it's more of a switch that you push up to lock the bolt to the rear, push down to send the bolt home when it is locked to the rear. Pretty solid, very ergonomic. I've had pretty good success with that in the past. Mag release on the left-hand side is a little bit further away from the actual mag well. You noticed on the LMT and the Daniel, they were pretty much right on top of each other where these traditional bolt release and bolt catch is. So we'll see how that feels. I think I'll be able to manage okay, but yeah, let's see what kind of time we get here. Has a little bit of wiggle in there. I don't know if I like that too much, but I don't know. Like I said, I haven't had any issues with that in the past. All right. Okay. 4.64. So for the first shot, that did pretty good. I did notice myself kind of like, okay, where is it? Without gloves on, it's very easy to pick up, but with gloves on, these are the thicker Mechanics, Winter Works, whatever they are. So a little bit thicker gloves. Awesome gloves, by the way. That felt really good. Yeah, 3.88. That was, ADM is on top right now. ADM's definitely on top. All right, let's go ahead and take the upper off the ADM lower. So far, so good. Oh, push that one back in though. There we go. All right, cool. Blackout Defense. Now this one also doesn't have too many rounds to it just yet. Really excited to bring you guys a full review of this gun. That is definitely pretty stiff. There's no play between the upper and lower, that's for sure. Goodness gracious. So the tool's gonna come out. This thing's pretty nifty, the AR takedown tool. There we go. Cool, that should give me enough room to grab and pull the way through. Goodness. Woo. All right, well that's tight. Well, it's a new gun. I'm wondering if the Cerakote finish on this gun, I do really like the color, obviously. I wonder if I can just like, I mean, it took some doing, but we got it. All right, so Blackout Defense. It is a bolt release only, right-hand side. That feels pretty easy to get to, so shouldn't be too difficult. Mag release, pretty similar to everything else that we've been shooting. But we're just gonna see. We're just gonna see how everything works together here. Obviously, that Cerakote job, I think, is just adding a little bit more thickness to the receivers than what I would typically like. So let's go ahead and give it a shot though and see how it goes. Trigger feels good. Damn. All right, 1346. I mean, I thought I was pushing the bolt release hard enough. I guess not. Oof. Let's do that again. You do really have to push that one. 3.98 though. I mean, the mag release is definitely nice and intuitive, easy enough to manipulate and get to on the left-hand side. But I think that thing just needs a break in. Really got to push that. All right, Clint, quit being a bitch. How about that? That's the solution to everything. All right, let's do it again. Except I used the wrong mag release. 4.03, so didn't quite beat 3.98, but yeah, I think that just needs a little bit of a break in, and we'll be sitting happy with that one. Let's try to get the upper receiver out of the lower receiver. Okay, that's good. I just got to shoot it more. That's all there is to it. I think this Blackout Defense has a lot of potential. I just need to run the crap out of it, and I think we'll be all right. So the Radian Mod 1, this thing, I've had this one for a little bit of time now. Been running some pretty tough drills with it. It's pretty freaking sweet. All right, that is a thin takedown pin. All right, there we go. Get out. Hopefully I have a little bit better luck with this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Before we actually continue on with this one, I want to show you guys something that's kind of cool about the Radian. The Radian ADEC, ambidextrous dual action control, right? Because one thing you might notice is, here's your bolt release. You would think, for a gun that costs as much as it does, it would have a bolt catch. Well, here's the interesting part. The mag release, if you push that, look at that. How about that? So your bolt release is one separate piece, and your bolt catch is actually integrated into the mag release. See all that's happening over here? Interesting, right? Now, personally, I would think that's going to incorporate more points of failure, potential points of failure. Dude, guys, I have not been kind to this gun. She's been doing good, so shout out to Radian. Interesting. Very interesting. That, I think, is an upper receiver. Is that my Daniel causing me a little issue there? All right. Hey, so actually, this is a perfect time to talk about ambidextrous slow receivers and how they make clearing malfunctions a little bit easier as well, because I can have one hand manipulate the bolt catch, which is great. I love that. Interesting malfunction, though. It is a little dry in there. Let's add a couple of drops of CLP.
A few moments later.
Added quite a bit of lubrication there to the upper receiver. Again, a gun I run a lot, so it's about time something fails. All right, let's lock it back to the rear again. Am I over inserting the magazine into this lower? All right, let's clear it one more time. Feeding from the right-hand side, I'm noticing is where the issue is coming into play. Think it's gonna work this time?
No.
Let's see. Mag out, insert, feel it, that goes. All right, I don't know. Maybe because I was paying attention to it, I didn't slam the mag as far in there. We're gonna take a look at that, but 4.81. So let's try it again. Remember how I said that complicated system? It's interesting, right? Wasn't causing me any issues. Here we go, let's do this again. 4.81 was where I was at. I will say that release, that bolt release, pretty intuitive. I can have my finger feeling that, feels good. Missed that one, but so 4.03 was the second shot, except I pulled that and went completely left of the target. You know, just for the sake of, I want to find out. All right, so lock it to the rear, insert mag. I'm over inserting the magazine. That's what's happening there. You guys see that? I cannot send the bolt home. The mag release is pretty much dead. Yeah. Over inserting the magazine. I have not had that issue before. Yeah. Radian sent me this lower, or sent me the complete gun. It is one of their demo guns. I have no clue how many rounds are through this gun. I know it's a high number, all right? Like I said, I've been running it. I've been let friends run it. So that is the first issue that we've seen out of this. Interesting. Before this video gets edited, I'm going to reach out to them, let them know, find out how many rounds are through this gun. All right, so fun little fluke there. Yeah, those pins are, well, the rear pin's pretty good. Still not enough material to actually grab. All right, so. Everything's breaking on me today. Did not realize that the brass piece is threaded into there, so keep that in mind if you have one of these. All right, there we go. Cool. For the Radian. Now, Noveski. Noveski has a bolt release only, not also a bolt catch, okay? Again, no play between the upper and the lower. Pins are tight. This one also has quite a few rounds to it. All right. Wow, what in the world? Oh, there it goes. hell? Dirty. Let's see what it does to the Daniel upper here. Don't get your gun Cerakoted. Just spray paint them. There it goes. All right. Woo. We made it, boys. Noveski lower here. Mag release is right underneath the bolt catch. All right. Ooh. Yeah, that's going to be fun. A little sticky. I think, honestly, what this needs is just a bunch of cleaning. Bolt release right over here. All right. All right, not bad. Not bad. Okay. All right, that felt pretty good. 4.36. All right. That bolt release, definitely intuitive. I thought I was going to be struggling with that mag release a little bit more, but feels good. Okay. .13. Yeah. Solid. Okay. They moved through just fine. If you take a look at this lower receiver, your adjustment screw here, if you were to take the pistol grip out, you'd be able to make tension between the upper and lower there. It'll push up against where the takedown pin goes, right in here, and that will tighten the tolerance between the upper and lower. So the issue I may have been running into is the fact that this is set to this upper receiver, and that's why it was so difficult to get on, but taking it off was completely easy. So go figure. All right. So LWRCI, another piston driven gun that I've got out here, just like the LMT, short stroke, adjustable, 300 blackout, but I'm obviously going to pop this guy off. I need a bigger table. Guys, tell Rob over at Monadnock Firearms, we need a bigger table. A taller one too would be kind of nice. Thanks, bud. Let's go ahead and take this one, move these guys down. Nice. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so on the LWRCI, you're gonna notice very similar to the Daniel and the LMT, traditional bolt release, bolt catch right behind your standard mag release. On the opposite side, I think I'm actually gonna like this mag release a lot in comparison to all of these. It's funny, I've shot all these guns by themselves, but never just one right after the other before. So it's kind of interesting to go from one gun to the next, to the next, to the next, all similar but different controls, right? Mag release on this guy, pretty easy to, to grab a hold of. So a little thing that I like quite a bit, if you notice, the mag release has a cutout for your trigger pin. So you don't have to remove that mag release in order to switch out the trigger if you are wanting to do that. Had the feel for the bolt release for a second, but 4.39 ain't bad. Uh-oh, got stuck on the mag release, 4.56. So 4.39 was faster. That's funny. I got stuck on the mag release, and I was just saying how I think the mag release is actually going to be mulligan. 4.82, so 4.39. Man, I tell you, if you guys aren't out there working on your guns, practicing, running these drills with gloves on, you definitely should, because taking these gloves off, I have a feeling if I were to be running these types of drills without the gloves, I would be moving a lot quicker. All right, Santan, here we go. Santan, these guys based out of Texas, really ergonomic controls. Unfortunately, no Ambi bolt catch, just a bolt release like the Noveski. Pins are easy enough to move, but kind of like the Radian, they're just kind of thin, so it's hard to get in there and get what I need out. Yeah, if I actually took the pin all the way out, that'd be great. This is the CMC trigger in this lower and also in my R3 lower. That make great triggers. So going over the controls really quick for the Santan, you're going to notice this large protruding bolt release, which is pretty nice. Textured mag release. And then down here, this mag release, they dropped it real low. Everything else we've been kind of pushing up here, right underneath your standard bolt catch and release. This mag release is way down here. Other than a little bit of play there, you're going to notice it's just a roll pin. That, I feel like, could be a point of failure. But that feels really good. I've probably got about 1,000 or 2 through this gun, so through this lower. Hasn't failed me yet. That felt good. Is it better than the ADM? 3.85. Okay, Santan, I see you. Oh, what happened there? Did I accidentally send the bolt home? Interesting. I think I did. So that's what happens when your controls are too easy to actuate. How about that, man? We are seeing all sorts of things. Guys, what is happening? Is it my mag? Is my mag failing me now? Is it not locking to the rear? It's not locking to the rear. Timeout. Subbing in a fresh mag here, all right? Now what's cool about that drill was while I'm switching out my mag here, I did a chamber check to make sure it was locked to the rear. It was 3.72. I'm thinking that let's just for the sake of being sure. Yeah, so I think that other mag, I need to mark it or just replace the follower because I guess it's done. Rotate your mags, boys and girls. Make sure you're out there running these drills. And yeah, I do not, unless it's like after a long range day or whatever, but typically I just keep my mags loaded. I don't downstack them, things like that when they're sitting. That's also because my range days are not few and far between. They're very often. So I go through mags, loaded mags pretty quickly. Santan worked out pretty good. Aero Precision. Wonder how those guys are doing right now. M4 E1 Pro. This is a brand new lower, never been shot, but the controls, okay, feels good. But the controls, obviously, are all pretty similar. So we can take a look. You're gonna notice, again, very similar to LMT and Daniel Defense, LWRCI. They all have a standard bolt catch, bolt release. And then right below here, this is pretty reminiscent of some of the ones we shot already, is your Ambi mag release. All right, so. All right, that was definitely me. 4.60. Do better, Clint. You suck. Suck less, shoot faster, shoot more accurate. All right, let's try that again. 4.6 even. .04. It's me just trying to line up my sights. It's like, just, For whatever reason on this, maybe it's just I'm picking it up now. I'm actually seeing the bolt movement. I don't know. I think that's just me being weird. Anyway, that was 4.44. So obviously not my fastest with this lower, but I'll be honest, it felt good. Felt good. Obviously, I need to run it a lot more and see how it does over time, but Aero with the M41 Pro looks good, feels good. Next up, we got the SIG Rattler LT. Same controls that you find across their Spear lineup, which is pretty similar to that of ADM, like we showed before, which has this switch here, and instead of applying pressure inward, you're applying a pressure downward to send the bolt home, upward to send or to lock the bolt to the rear. You're gonna find that also it's got more of a like squared off vertical type of mag release, and on the left hand side mag release here directly at the 6 o'clock position to that of the bolt catch and release. Since this is pretty similar to the ADM, I'm expecting something pretty quick, but I'm also noticing something kind of that I think might present a little bit of an issue. Right where you got the brass deflector here, and with these gloves on, trying to actually get contact onto that release under a little bit of pressure here, you know, against the clock. We're just gonna see. Oh no. We're just gonna see, all right? Wish me luck, fam. All right, okay. 4.35. I did have to fight it a little bit. There's definitely some tension there. Unlike with the ADM, which had a little bit more play, this one's definitely got a little bit more spring tension. Now you'll also notice this is a short stroke piston driven design, similar to that of like the LMT and the LWRCI that we shot. But because it doesn't use your traditional AR buffer, there's no buffer tube back here, so I can't use a traditional AR upper, well, to run this gun. So that's why it's our one little anomaly. I do have to like kind of fight it. That's the only problem. And it was so quiet, it only picked up the first shot. 0.83, it didn't pick up the second shot. So we're gonna have to try it again. Son of a... Oh, that was bad. 4.76, that kind of sucks because I was definitely a lot faster with that second shot, that second round. Let's give it one more shot here. That was bad. .80 because it's still not picking up the second shot. All right. Know what that means. 300 blackout's awesome because it's so quiet until you're trying to race against the clock and it's not picking up the shots. We suck again. Did you hear it that time? Oh man. God, I cannot. 5.45. Guys, this one is messing with me. It's like when I get a good one, the shot timer isn't picking up the shot. Son of a... Nope. All right, 5.10 on that one. I tell you guys, it's almost like my finger is getting fatigued just trying to push down on that release on the SIG there. It's like, again, without the gloves, it'd be easy enough, but that's not what this is all about. Like, I want to make sure that these controls are ergonomic enough, even with thicker gloves, because that's the environment in which I live. So I need to make sure it works for me. All right, so at the end of it all, which one was the fastest for me? That was Santan at 3.72. So that would be this guy right here. All right, this lower receiver, again, with this more protruding bolt release and the placement of that mag release, I think is what ultimately really made this one shine. That was my fastest one, again at 3.72 seconds. If we go down the line though, we've got Daniel Defense, 4.43 seconds on the one shot reload, one shot. And my assumption would have been that the LMT, the Daniel Defense, the LWRCI, and the Arrow all would have been pretty similar because they have pretty much a similar setup. So Daniel Defense is 4.43, LMT was 4.33, LWRCI was 4.39, and the Arrow was 4.04. So all of them are, yeah, pretty similar because they have very similar controls. Great. So then we've got ADM, which comes in at a close second at 3.88. ADM, remember, this is the one that was similar to the SIG, which is funny, right? Similar to the SIG, but ironically, second fastest, slowest with the SIG at 5.10. Blackout Defense, 3.98, very good. Other than the fitment between the upper and the lower, very tight, right? Our ambidextrous lower receiver is really all that beneficial. Some people would say that, hey, they are an overcomplication. They're pretty much incorporating a possible failure point or point of failure. So not really worth it, right? There is the potential of it, you know, if you have it slung, let's say you've got your mag release here and then it hitting on your gear and then your mag dropping free. These are definitely things to take into consideration, but I've been running Ambi controlled guns for a long time, complete Ambi controlled guns, and I've never had, actually that's a lie. I have had it one time where the mag fell out, but I actually don't remember which system that was. So it has happened. Once is probably too many times for most people out there, but with how many rounds I have through all sorts of different ambidextrous systems, honestly, I haven't found it to be that big of a problem. And yeah, I've done the crawling through the dirt, the mud, and everything else with my guns and different classes. Hasn't really presented itself to be an issue on complete ambidextrous guns. Again, if you get yourself a quality gun, it's going to be one of those things that they're going to take good care to make sure that that doesn't happen. But I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think that Ambi guns are overrated? Yes, no, I do find that they are an awesome thing to have for a little bit quicker reloads when they work as intended. And that also malfunction clearing. If and when that happens, most likely when that happens, being able to rock and clear a malfunction with the single use of your dominant hand is pretty nice. So again, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And of course, any other manufacturers you'd like to see me try out against some of these faster ones, like let's say Santan and ADM. I'll definitely be keeping those and seeing how those perform against some other ones out there. Let me know. All right. God bless you guys. Appreciate you all. And we will see you next time right here.